everyone, I'm Teresa Younkin, founder and CEO of Mosaic Life. That's an AI-driven wellness app, and I'm also a health informaticist. So let's get started talking about value-based contracts. We know that these are so complex and they're very time-consuming when it comes to healthcare management, and that's a huge barrier to providers and payers entering into these contracts, especially with smaller providers who don't have the technology to implement or to address data quality issues. How AI and FHIR can help with this issue so that we can truly have a value-based healthcare system that spans across all providers for all patients to improve healthcare. AI is now offering solutions that can significantly streamline the process of getting this data. And so what I want to talk about is how does AI and FHIR help us to reshape our contract drafting? So it's not just about the contract, it's about how the providers are going to perform to those contracts. First, what AI can help you to do is to automate your contract generation. So what does that mean? The AI systems can take in both discrete data and they can take in unstructured data. Well, now with AI, it's making it easier for us to tap into that unstructured data. NLP is now also growing as a technology and as AI to help us mine some of the gold out of our EHRs and out of our claims data. AI can help you to speed up the drafting of a contract. You can look at all the historical data, look at all your historical contracts, standards, they've got the same threshold. So it can help you to create those a lot faster, but be more personalized to the provider network that you're talking to. It's about the system becoming more intelligent. As you put in more contracts and you start to develop different types of contracts with the insights that you get from the AI, it can help you to draft very individualized contracts for your provider. All of these have an effect on what your outcomes are going to look like. So having the availability to process this amount of data. And with machine learning, what we found is that we can use clustering algorithms. And having worked with the actuaries, I understand the more data that we have, the richer data, the cleaner data, the better our outcomes are, and the better that we can predict and help provide better care for our patients and our members. Next thing, classification models. So we can start to group different kinds of agreements together. Finally, we can do sequence to sequence models, and that can generate new contract language. And we know that interoperability is a huge piece of this, and that's why I talk about FHIR all the time. We have a value-based performance reporting IG that's out there. Being able to look at the different pieces of that contract, and we did it with real-world data, and we did it with partners that have large amounts of value-based care contracts, both from the payer side and the provider side, to come together to create these resources. When we have the resources, we get that standardization. When we get standardization, then we can help our own data quality improve because we know what we're receiving and we know what we're ingesting and we know what we need to, shout out to data governance because that's a huge part of having good data for your AI to learn. In the VBPR IG, we have a contract resource, and that has data elements that cover the overall agreement structure. And then we have got measure resources, and that's for defining the metrics we're going to perform to. Patient and claim resources as well, that helps us to tap into real world data to help us show how we are performing and why we're performing a certain way. And you can think about like patient claim data like regionality. You can think about different cohort. VBPR, Value-Based Performance Reporting IG, is great. And it's not just about the contracts, right? It's about what we are performing to as providers. So we've been using NLP for a long time, like I said, for risk adjustment and quality measurement. One new use case that's starting to come up, we're having a lot more pharmacists at the table and pharmacists being a part of your care team. Think about being able to use and to analyze electronic health record data across different healthcare centers. Being in an ACO doesn't mean that everybody's in the same health system. You can have different providers from different health systems in ACOs. And think about being able to grab data out of any EHR because of interoperability and FHIR and being able to use that to structure contracts, but not just contracts for participating in the ACO. Think about participating and negotiating your drug, your PBM contracts as well. We've got pharmacists at the table. We can get to better drug delivery. We can actually start to look to see, what do we put on formulary? What do we want to put on formulary? What's in trial now? This is a multi-pronged approach in being able to get the data, because we've got AI and we've got FHIR. And it really does start to create a more equitable and effective value-based care environment. As we look to healthcare contracting, to the future of it, it's clear that AI is going to be playing a really crucial role. And it's not just about replacing human expertise, because that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that we need to augment it, right? We've got to empower ourselves to create smarter, fairer, and more effective agreements, because that ultimately leads to better patient outcomes. And that also leads to more sustainable healthcare systems. Because if you're not feeling the squeeze like everybody else, let me know, because I want to know your secret sauce. Thank you for joining me today. If you haven't thought about value-based care arrangements or how FHIR and AI can help you, here's two examples right here: contracting and helping to better outcomes. I'll see you guys here again next week, where we're going to continue our series on AI and value-based care. Have a great one.